Welcome back to Beginner Beading with Janet D. Today we are going to carry on with our next step with our Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women awareness pen. And today's episode will be adding banding around our project. So let's get started. I have already knotted my thread. Again, it's just a single strand with a tail, so that we can pull it out if we need to. So you see there's just one strand, and I've knotted it on the back. The first thing we're going to do is put our banding beside the outside edge of the project. So this is going to go all the way around. So what we're going to do is bring our thread up between the first two rhinestones, and you'll see a little gap there. I have included, if you've received one of my kits, I have included the rhinestone with your project. Also a metal banding out there that is a little bit easier to work with. But this one we're going to tack every single gap between each rhinestone. So it's important that you always go in towards your work, because in the end we're going to be cutting around the banding and we don't want to cut our threads. So if we go inwards towards the bead, there's less of a danger of us cutting our thread. So I'm just going to pull that, and you'll see it just tacks it in. And I'm holding the banding with my thumb each rhinestone I do. I am going to push it in towards the beads. And I'm going to tack every single gap up and in. So I'm going to go all the way around, and I'll come back and show you how to finish it once we get to the other end. Gotten all the way around my circle of beads, and normally I would have extra length of the rhinestones, but this I cut perfectly to size. So this is where I would cut my rhinestone if it's longer than my project. I recommend not cutting it until you get all the way around the circle, because your measurement might be off a little bit. So I'm just going to do my last little gap here. And I'm going to show you how to give it just a little bit of a lock. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to kind of bring those together, is I'm going to come back up between the very first one, back up through, and then down again towards the beads. And then I'm going to come back up through the last one, just to kind of pull that thread, making it like one. Let me get that up through. And pull it tight. And that little gap will disappear once we do our edging. And down. I am going to do my knot again. So again, it is wrap it around your needle, make the triangle, and under your thumb, and pull it tight 2 times. Go. And there, because I'm going to be cutting out my circle now. Okay. So there we have our banding around our pin. So now I'm going to cut it. There we go. And we're just about ready to put our backing on. And there it is. It's kind of what my pin will look like. So this is you should have got a piece of vinyl with your kit. And this is the part that will be facing out. So we want to turn it over so the back of the vinyl is showing. and we're just going to cut a circle around our pin. So, sorry, cut around my pin. Being careful to keep it the same size as my pin. Detail scissors work best for this. As I can get into the little crannies, nooks and crannies. There. So there's my pin. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mark where we want to put our pin. So you also got a little pin with your project, and we're going to figure out now where to put it. So we're going to just flip this over like so, and we're going to sit our pin where we want it to go. I guess we could put it towards the top like so, and we want that like that. And what I do is I just take a pen and I mark where I want my cuts to be. You're going to make 2 cuts in order for the pin to go through the backing. A little cut here and a little cut here. Let's see, look where I've got it. And I'm going to mark there and there. So I just made 2 little dots there. So now to make the cut, I'm just going to fold my, where the dots are, and I'm going to make a little slit going up towards where my pin was. And you don't want to make your cut too big, just a little slice for things to fit through. And if we need to make them bigger later, we can. And you can see here I have 2 slits that went through. So now we're going to take the pin. So I'm going to put the pin through first. Push it through that hole, and I want that whole section to go through, including that this little sticky part, because it's a lever and it has to be able to move. So there you can see I've got it all through. I'm going to flatten it out there, and then I'm going to push the other piece through the other hole like so. There. So there I have my pin coming through. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my pin so that it doesn't move, and I'm going to glue this onto the back. You can I got this at Walmart. It's called Fabric Tack, and it will hold immediately. So I'll be able to continue on with working when I use this glue. So I'm going to put a liberal amount on the backing. If you're using white glue, again, it's doable. Just let it dry, maybe even overnight. Make sure that my pin is going in the right direction, and then I'm just going to glue it on like so. So that's my backing, and our next step will be, I'll just turn it a little bit. Our next step will be edging. I'll see you in the next video when we will do our edging. So you've been watching Beginner Beading with Janet D. If you like the content of this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe even subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.